first time in U.S. history, the Supreme Court is now adopting an official code of ethics in response to criticism over alleged conflicts of interest. The justices say they codify existing principles into this new code, including provisions like avoiding any appearance of impropriety in activities or anything that would question a justice's impartiality, among other rules. The new code of ethics comes after liberal news outlet ProPublica has reported that Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito did not disclose luxury trips paid for by Republican megadonors. And Justice Sonia Sotomayor has faced criticism for reportedly having staffers push colleges to buy her book. Let's bring in national political reporter for The Hill, Julia Manchester. So I know that these code of ethics are something that a lot of people have pushed for, but what does that mean practically? Will any change happen, or will there be any consequences if something seems to fall in the gray zone?
Yeah, good morning, Adrienne. That's the question I think everyone's asking, and that's what a lot of critics are saying. They're saying that this code of ethics, which is a first for the Supreme Court, is essentially a formality, that there isn't a lot of clarity as to how this will ultimately be enforced. Now, we're seeing that since it's a first for the Supreme Court, that they're trying to find their footing on this. Chief Justice John Roberts has talked about this as well and trying to appoint, maybe particular officials or officers to help look into this and enforce these codes of ethics. But there's nothing particularly new in the code of ethics. What it is essentially a formality. It's been publicized now, and that it essentially says that, justices have to follow this and hold themselves accountable. But I think critics are saying that really hasn't worked in the past.
Okay, well, let's take a listen to a couple of sides here. Some Senate Democrats saying the ethics code already falls short. Let's listen.
The Supreme Court has at last acknowledged that it needs to have a code of ethics. So the real test now is, how do you enforce it? Is there a place where you can file a complaint against a justice?
And there isn't. But Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is accusing Democrats of trying to delegitimize the Supreme Court itself. This is something that he's been saying for quite some time, warning them against subpoenas tied to the ethics probe of the court. Let's watch.
Now, I can't explain why you chose this fight. We're going to get zero done. You're going to have a complete show. But if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. So thanks.
Mr. Chairman.
Not mincing words there at all. We bleeped it. But there are Republicans who are saying this is really just an attempt to undermine the conservative court, as Graham alleges. But what is the talk in Washington?
Yeah, look, Adrienne, this comes at a time when we've seen that the court has been politicized, and it was politicized, I would argue, before they got that conservative majority during the Trump administration. But Republicans, like you said, very much arguing that this is, a tactic to get back at the conservative majority, or maybe hold conservatives' feet to the fire on the court, even though we know that other justices, like you mentioned, Justice Sotomayor, has also come under similar scrutiny. In terms of the talk of Washington, look, you've seen the Judiciary Committee in the Senate talk about, passing their own code of ethics for the Supreme Court, or somehow, coming out with an outline for that. The issue with that is, I don't think there's still that question of whether that's legal. We know that Justice Alito has talked about that. You have this issue of checks and balances, the courts and then the legislature, and, where does that come together? But, look, I think we're really in uncharted territory here, and there's, sort of a gray area and as to how to hold these justices accountable and how do they hold themselves accountable, ultimately, similarly to how lower courts do in the country as well.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.